When is it time to hire an assistant? Welcome to Role Model Business, a podcast to help you grow your business, especially in the martial arts world. I'm AJ Klingerman, a Brazilian Jiu Jitsu black belt, obsessed with helping you grow your business and your community.
And I'm Jennifer Risser, a Brazilian Jiu Jitsu black belt, here to learn right along with you. And today we're hiring an assistant?
Well, we're talking about when it's time to hire an assistant. Yeah. I feel like coaches are easy, kind of. Like, you know when to hire a coach. If you have two mats, you obviously can't teach on both mats. Or if you're running other programs, I can't teach a judo class. I have taught a judo class. But you get it. Like, if there's other art forms that you're teaching, that's easier to know when to hire a coach. But when to hire an assistant can be a lot harder.
Okay, so how do we know?
Well, I think sometimes it feels like a luxury to people. So let's talk about budget a little bit. If you are a newer gym or a struggling gym, thinking about hiring an assistant can be daunting and overwhelming and feel like there's no way you can afford an assistant, right? I try to look at it like if they could free up my time so that I could be doing something else, or if they could better serve our customers and students that I'm not able to do because I'm running class or something like that, it's going to make the amount you're paying them worth it.
Even just taking some of the load away, even if it's like you're not specifically doing something in that particular moment, just having someone that can like do our laundry and kind of do the basic cleaning and stuff, like that is worth its weight in gold.
It is. It really is. And that's why I say an assistant instead of a front desk person, because I think if you think front desk, they're like glued to the front desk. They're just there to like welcome people in, fill out waivers, that kind of stuff. But I consider the person we hire an assistant because they are doing those other things. They're doing everything that we need. And usually that always includes laundry, vacuuming when they get there, cleaning the bathroom, all that kind of stuff. Sometimes it's, hey, will you grab me 2 waters out of the fridge because I'm running class and I don't have time to run and grab waters. So.
Yeah, do inventory for us.
Yes, yeah. So there's a ton of stuff that they can be doing. And we can talk about like all the different tasks just to give you some ideas, because I think that's helpful. Sometimes we're like, well, what would I even have that person do? And we've mentioned lots of things already, but some other things like, giving tours, setting appointments. Inventory was huge for us, having someone to do inventory, or even just like packing for camp for us. I know that that's not what everyone else is doing, but like that was something that really helped us with having an assistant this year. Yeah. They can also do like research. So they could find all of the different like vendor events that you could do, or any of the trunk or treat events. If they could find all of the different ones around your town, which we'll talk about when we talk about like October marketing, obviously. But we did a trunk or treat event last year and it went really, really well. Yeah. So I would like for our assistant this year to find all of the different events that we could do, and like, is there a cost? How do we get involved? That kind of thing.
Yeah. They can also do data entry. Yeah. Ours has been doing a lot of like addressing envelopes for thank you cards, things like that.
Yeah. Potentially you could even have them like signing people up. So filling out the contracts, entering the contracts into the system, even just like following up with people, like we haven't seen you, checking in kind of thing. They could also do research on like networking events that you could attend. Potentially, depending on what time they are working for you, they could attend those networking events for you to talk about your gym and invite people in. You could have them doing like street team stuff, like going around to the different businesses and introducing your gym to them, leaving flyers, that type of stuff too. Yeah. Also, in the past, we've done like Christmas parties or holiday parties, anniversary parties, those types of things. And I've had our assistant like contact multiple places to see how much it is to rent it. What does that come with? What does food look like? All of that. That's been really helpful in the past.
Yeah. So there's lots of things that you can have someone do. Sky's the limit in terms of your imagination.
Yeah. And I just think that oftentimes we don't hire somebody because we just don't think we can take the stuff off of our plate. I think a lot of times we think, well, I'm going to do it best.
That's always going to be true.
Yeah, but you could be doing something else best or better. Having somebody at the front desk, like you said, just having them take the load off is really helpful. But, if it takes you 5 or 10 minutes to welcome the person that just walked in the door because you're in the middle of teaching technique, that person is getting more and more nervous. They are thinking about leaving. They just have a bad taste in their mouth walking in the door. But if you can have somebody there to greet them and start them through the process, and then you can come out and talk to them, or the assistant knows how to talk to them, I think all of that can be really great.
Yeah, and I mean, like, okay, they're doing your laundry. Sure, you can do your laundry best, but I think it might be worth it to just let somebody else do it. Like, there might be a shrunk gi every once in a while. My rash guard might be in your bin, but, it's worth it.
Yeah. Our assistant before this one, at some point partway through, I was like, let me teach you how I fold the gis. Like, it's not a huge deal, but, good is good enough. We can get better as we go. And the way that we fold gis are tighter, and so it takes less storage space. So, partway through, I was just like, okay, you're doing a great job, but let me teach you how to do this.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so how do we decide who?
So sometimes we tend to hire from within. You hire a parent that is struggling to afford classes, or a student that's just looking for a part-time job. And I think those are valid. Those are sometimes the good way to go, especially if you're trying to help somebody out. I don't find those to usually be the best for assistants, mostly because they have bonded too deeply into the gym. So everyone wants to hang out with them and talk to them because they're just sitting at the front desk.
Right.
So that's been a struggle we've had in the past when we've hired from within, because then they're not getting work done. They're just socializing.
And it's hard for them too, right? Their friends are coming up to talk to them. So it's just an uncomfortable situation, right? We have to be like the boss, I put that in air quotes, that has to tell them to stop, or, you know what I mean? Like, we have to dispel the people, or like, it's just an uncomfortable situation.
Yeah, where we're like, let them get back to work. Like, yeah. And then you feel like the bad guy for your students and your employee, and that just kind of sucks.
Yeah.
So I do recommend, if possible, to hire from outside. And that could potentially be like an older sibling of one of the students, or, a teenager or early 20s of one of the students, like somebody that's not in the gym, doesn't know everyone already, but can start from the ground up with our training. I want them to be friendly with the students. I want them to start to learn their names and that kind of stuff. I just don't want them to not get their work done because they're overly friendly.
Right.
And I think that's easiest done, or most easily done, when you start from the beginning.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So I recommend hiring from outside if you can. And you can start small. Like the first time we hired an assistant, it was like 3 hours a day, 2 days a week. That's it. And the amount of work that they can accomplish in those 6 hours helps us out tremendously.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now it's not like we have a full-time employee as an assistant. It's 3 hours a day, 4 days a week.
Yeah.
It's night and day difference.
And it's so worth it.
It's so worth it. They can set appointments for me. They can, text people. They could do our social media. They could even write blogs if that's something that's in their wheelhouse.
Yeah, totally.
So I know I keep saying different things that they can do, but I just think oftentimes that's what holds people back. You don't realize the value. I think that you might say what's holding you back is not wanting to pay somebody, but if you recognize the value of that, then paying them becomes a lot easier.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
we've found people through relatives of people who have trained with us in the past. We've also found people just on like Facebook. So on like local chatter type groups, we've found people.
Yeah. One of my longest assistants. And like a lot of times for us, an assistant is a period of their life. Like this is probably not their career, right? So I have had several assistants throughout the years, but one of our best ones came off of a Facebook group.
Yeah. The best ones are like probably in college and doing this part-time, or it's a mom or a parent who just wants to make a little extra money during the week or something like that.
Yeah,
I think.
I think so too. I think that's perfect. Or, a high school kid that has their stuff together that just wants a, after school type job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Frankly, the one we're about to start tomorrow is like sort of a friend of a friend. So that can work out sometimes too.
Yeah. So this happened that I had a fantastic assistant that was only with us for a couple of weeks, because then she became like the mom for whatever group her kid was in, like the one taking care of everything. So she was like, I'm so sorry, but they're practicing on the same days you need me, blah, blah, blah. But she was great. And then she referred her daughter, who worked with us all summer and was great. And then she said, I have somebody to replace her when she leaves. And so now we have a new assistant starting tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll try them out tomorrow, see how it goes.
Yeah. And we get better as we go, right? So good is good enough. Start and keep improving. So the things that Maddox, my last assistant that just left on Thursday, the things that she did for us were fantastic. But now I'm ready for May to level up, right? Yeah. I think it's important to have systems in place, and you can do that with your assistant. So I think we might have done an episode on systems, but basically I'm having them write down everything that we're doing. So I might show them how to enter somebody into our email software. And so they're writing down everything that I'm doing as I'm doing it. They're helping me create the system, but I want to be able to give that to them, then to the next assistant and the next assistant, so that it's able to be repeated and I don't have to work so hard to train somebody.
Yeah.
Another system I have in place is they have a daily check sheet. So on Mondays, these are the things they're doing. On Tuesdays, some of those are repeated. Some of them are different. Like, you don't have to dust the weight area every single day. That can be, you don't have to water the plants every single day. So I have every day that they're working, they have a check sheet that they kind of go through and turn in, and that helps to make sure they have something to do, and I don't have to be standing over them like, what are you doing now? Do you need a task? That gets hard.
Yeah. And there are certain personalities that do really well with like, okay, I'm done. Is there something else I can do? And there are certain personalities that are just sort of like sitting at the front desk waiting for you to realize they're done.
Yes.
So that can be its own challenge.
Yeah. Yeah. So just kind of figuring that out and working through it is really helpful. And I just think you continue to level up. Something I'm going to be implementing with May is a weekly check-in. Are you good with your job? Is there any questions that you have? Did you have any issues this week? Do you feel like you can take on more tasks, and just kind of see how things are going each week?
Yeah, I like that.
So that's it.
And we start them easy, start on the laundry. Most people know how to do laundry.
Although when Maddox came in, because she's 20 or 19, somewhere in there, she's like, your washing machine is old and I don't know how to use it. So you could literally have a system written out of like how to use your washing machine, because maybe the kids have never done laundry before. We've had that happen too.
We also have kind of old washers, so
yeah,
it's a little different. Okay, I think that probably wraps it up for this week.
Yeah, I highly recommend hiring an assistant.
Sometimes it's hard to find a person, but it makes such a big difference for us having someone that can just, I need you to go mop the mat. Oh, can you make sure you get the laundry through? Like just having someone that can pick up the slack is really nice.
It is. It's helped us a lot in not having overflowing laundry. There are days when I always wear 2 gis a day, but like now that we're in comp training, sometimes I'm like, I have to change everything after comp training. So I'm wearing 3 gis and you're wearing 1 or 2 gis. And that's just a lot to keep up on if it were us.
Yeah, it's a lot. So even just having the laundry done is worth it.
Agreed. Okay,
so do we have a content corner piece for this week?
Yeah. Okay, so your content corner is something kind of easy this week, but I want you to do like a before and after. So this is us before training or comp training or whatever, and then another quick video of this is us after. And it's really good if you can get the students involved in that, because it shows people, one, the variety of people training with you. It kind of gives them an introduction to them without having to go, what are you here for, or anything like that. And it shows people having fun. When they say this is me before comp training, they're not just like, this is me before comp training. It shows that they're having a good time even when they're working hard. And then afterwards, you know, you see that they're all sweaty and disheveled, and obviously they worked hard, but they're still having a great time.
Yeah, ours turned out cute
Yeah.
from a week or so ago.
Yeah, and we did that just us, and that's great too. But if you can get the students involved, I think it's a really good way to get them involved quickly without making them feel like they have to speak on camera.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, subscribe to the Substack.
Yes.
All right, well, you know what we always say.
If you build it,
Learn how to market it.
get referrals,
Follow up with prospects.
offer a great product,
And grow a community.
they will come. Now get out there and get it done. We believe in you.